Now let us consider the terms distance and displacement and what are the basic differences between distance and displacement. Now, suppose that you are traveling from your home to the school. Okay, you are traveling from the home to your school. Now, the bus driver will consider this particular path. Suppose that first you are over here, this is your home, okay, or I can call it as the initial point. Okay, this is your home, or I can call it as your initial point, and you are traveling something like this the way to your school. And suppose that this is your school. Okay, or I can call it simply as the final point or the final destination. So you will have to travel something like this to reach to school from your home. Okay, this is the path that you have to cover to reach from the from your home to the school. Okay, means from the initial position to the final position. So the actual path which you are covering or which the bus is covering is known as the distance. Okay, this is basically the distance. Then what is displacement? Displacement is basically the shortest distance which is covered by body. Suppose that you are going to your school with a helicopter. Then you will take this is your home, this is the school, and you will travel something like this in a straight line path. Yes, you will travel in a straight line path. Then that particular path is known as the displacement. We can say call it as the shortest distance which is covered by the body is known as what? It is known as displacement. Okay, so if I want to show displacement somewhere over here, then what I can do? I can simply connect the initial point and the final point. Okay, you have to remember this. I can simply connect the initial point to the final point, and this is basically the displacement. This actual path which was covered is basically what? This is, wait a second, this is the distance covered by the body. This is the distance covered by the body. And what is this? This is the displacement of the body. Okay, now there are certain more differences. Distance is basically a scalar quantity. Now what is a scalar quantity? A scalar quantity is only having magnitude. Is this the definition? No, you are wrong. In various schools also it is taught something like this. But each and every body possess certain magnitude and it also possesses certain direction. Yes, how? See, this is the body. It is moving in this direction at this particular point. It is moving in this direction at this particular point. It is moving in this direction at this particular point. It is moving in this direction at this particular point. It is moving in this direction this particular point. Means it is having both distance and direction. Okay, it is having both magnitude and direction. So it is a vector quantity then? No, it is not a vector quantity. It is a scalar quantity itself, but it is having the direction, but we are only considering the magnitude. The only necessary part for this particular thing is the magnitude. We are ignoring the direction. It is having the direction, but we are ignoring the direction. This is the point you need to know. In various schools, it is taught that scalar quantity is having only magnitude, but see, distance is having direction also. This body is having direction. It will move in a particular direction only. It will move either in north, south, east, west, northeast, southeast, etc. Okay, but it will have a direction. But we are not considering that direction. Okay, and displacement is a vector quantity. A vector quantity is something for which to define both magnitude and direction are required. For a scalar quantity, we have to define only the magnitude, but for vector quantity, we need both magnitude and direction. See, suppose that I am writing 5 meters. So this 5 is basically the magnitude, and I did not specify the direction over here. But if I want to tell the displacement, then I can say 5 meter towards east. You can consider 5 meter towards east. Okay, then it becomes the displacement. Okay, I think you got my point. What is a scalar quantity and what is a vector quantity? The other scalar quantities may be speed, distance, speed. Both of them are scalar quantities, and for displacement, velocity, acceleration, displacement, all three of them are vector quantities. Okay, now another point to note, distance can only be positive. Okay, distance can only be positive, it cannot be negative. Ayush, can distance be 0? No, positive 0 is not a positive value, not positive value. Okay, it can only be positive. If suppose that if the distance is 0, it means the body is not moving. It means the motion is not taking place. Okay, you got my point. It means the motion is not taking place. If the distance covered by the body is 0, then the motion is not taking place. And it is not the case of motion. It is the case of a body is at rest. Okay. So distance cannot be 0, but in the case of displacement, it can be positive as well as negative as well as 0. A displacement can be positive as well as negative as well as 0. Okay, got my point? How Ayush, in the case of displacement? See, suppose that this is you and you need to go over here to a marketplace. Okay, this is the marketplace, suppose, and you have to go over here. Now what you are doing? You are simply traveling in this direction and reach the marketplace. Now in this case, it is your positive displacement. Okay, in this case you are considering a positive displacement. But suppose that you need to go in this particular direction, but you thought that the marketplace is places in this direction. Then your final destination should be this particular point, but you are traveling in the opposite direction. So when you are traveling in the opposite direction, then that particular thing is basically known as the negative displacement. Okay, if you are traveling in the opposite direction, then that particular situation is known as the negative displacement. Now consider this point. This was the initial point. You reached, suppose, somewhere over here, but a person came, you asked a person that where is the marketplace, and he told that it is in this direction. You are traveling in the wrong direction. Then what will you do? A point will come when you will reach somewhere over here. Okay, a point will come when you will reach somewhere over here. I think it is visible. Okay, a point will come when you will reach somewhere over here, means you are again at your initial position only. Okay, you are again at your initial position only. So this particular situation is occurs when the displacement is 0. Okay, or you can consider this particular thing, that you were traveling to the market, you bought the goods, and you again went back to your home. Then this case also is a 0 displacement case, because both initial and final position are basically equal in these situations. So I think you got what is distance, displacement, and what are the differences between them.